Trump's behalf as Michael Cohen's sentenced to 3 years in jail. How the president's responding on Twitter. Felicity Jones and Armie Hammer talk about bringing an American icon to the big screen.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
There's no place like New York for the holidays, and Whoopi's taking her family and you along for the ride. And find out whose holiday budget's getting bigger on The View's $5,000 Holiday Cash Sweepstakes. The House of Hot Topics is in session with Whoopi, Abby Huntsman, Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, and Meghan McCain. Now, let's get whose holiday budget's getting bigger on The View's $5,000 Holiday Cash Sweepstakes. The House of Hot Topics is in session with Whoopi, Abby Huntsman, Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin. A Republican?
I also had my nanny on the first row, Vanessa, who taught me how to first shave my legs when I was younger. Oh, it's true. She's seen a lot.
That's a good tip.
It is.
Wow. Wow. Individual.
I taught myself and it didn't go well.
Really? Now I have to know. What happened?
So I took my father's razor. Use any shaving cream. Oh. And I used some water.
Yeah.
And the rest was history.
You bled.
I bled. I had scars on my legs. It was a mess. So someone teaching you how to do it.
We appreciate Vanessa.
I don't know why I didn't ask anyone. You know, my family didn't talk about stuff like that. Like I don't know.
Listen, I didn't know I had hair on my leg.
Right? It's like
I looked down, all I saw was brown. But there you go. So let's get to it. Individual one lost another ally. Right? Didn't they just already sentence him?
He was sentenced
Exactly. They don't give you 3 years in prison for just a casual thing. No. And also, he forgets, Trump, that they have documents and phone calls. We heard the tape of the two of them about arranging the payments.
A lot of things.
We heard him say to Trump, I'm going to talk to you about the payments. And Hasselberg, what's his name? The guy his accountants, what's his name?
Oh, I don't remember.
Hasselberg, something like that.
Oh, you're talking about...
He'll get the money.
Weisselberg, Alan
Weisselberg will get the money.
Who is the Trump family who's been the CFO for years and years.
Yeah.
I've always said if there is...
Doesn't he mention the Pecker guy? What's his name?
David Pecker, who owns American Media.
Pecker guy.
But I've always said if there's a smoking gun, it's going to be with the lawyer, the CFO, and with the guy that runs National Enquirer, because that is where the money is.
Within the Trump
It
organization.
reminds me, because I just watched The Clinton Affairs, which if you haven't seen it, it's fabulous. And I learned a lot about what special counsel, what they do. And they were looking into Whitewater at the time, business dealings before the election. And that's when they found Monica Lewinsky. So you cast out this big net, which is what they've done with the Russia collusion, and that has led them here.
Well, the scope of the special counsel mandate is pretty broad, and it says crime. You can investigate these particular crimes or anything arising therefm, and that's why I think we're seeing we're seeing the web go bigger and bigger and bigger, and we're seeing all these referrals. What was kind of interesting to me when I read this agreement between the AMI, which is the National Enquirer, they said this: it is further understood that, this is the prosecutor's letter, it is further understood that neither AMI nor this office will disclose this agreement in Exhibit A attached hereto on or before November 6, 2018.
What's the point?
So they wanted to make sure that this information didn't impact the election.
Oh, yeah, that's the problem.
Midterm elections. And so the implication is they don't want to do what has been done.
Well, between the Russians, between the
Cohen's press conference yesterday, too,
please.
because he said, I've been living in a personal and mental incarceration ever since the fateful day that I accepted the offer to work for the famous real estate agent. My weakness can be characterized as blind loyalty to Donald Trump, which I always always thought was part of his problem was the team around him that seemed to have. I remember Michael Cohen doing an interview with CNN, and I believe it was Breonna Keeler saying, he said, "Who says Trump's down in the polls?" And she says, "Polls." He said, "What polls?" He said, "All of them. All of the polls are saying different things."
Yeah.
And he was so even like in the face of, obviously we know polling was different, but he was obviously a yes man from the beginning on his campaign. And I don't know how you live in a mental incarceration under a candidate. Even the terminology of this is strange. And
Well, all
I don't know, he
his
seems
business,
like a-
Michael Cohen's, all his business came from the Trump organization, and he made a lot of
Well, he
money.
was
He
actually-
had like 3 clients.
mental incarceration.
Sean Hannity,
He was-
Trump,
you're
and one
literally
other
not thinking
person.
He was
for
charged
yourself.
with other things that weren't Trump related. This guy was not a good person.
No.
And
But they're
yesterday,
trying to make him into one
he
now.
sounded like a victim. Like when I watched it yesterday, and I felt bad for a
Let
second.
me read this. He says, this is what he said about, this is a guy, Michael Cohen, who told reporters looking into Trump a few years ago, quote, "I'm warning you, tread to do to you, what I'm going to do to you is going to..." Cohen speaking. So let's not canonize Michael Cohen, okay? He's a thug just like
I
why
do
does
want
Trump
to point this out.
surround himself
I
with
do want to
someone
point
like
this
that?
out, that he also tweeted December 19th, 2015.
Yeah.
Hillary, when you go to prison for defrauding America and perjury, your room and board will be free.
Oh. You know what they say? You know what they say, Whoopi?
He's not wrong about
Connor
that.
is a bitch.
Well, yeah. I mean, this
But
was...
isn't it interesting that...
Karma.
Isn't it interesting? You thought you said coma?
What I'm hearing, I don't know what's happening.
You thought Karma was a person?
That's crazy.
No, Karma, the person, is not a bitch.
It's like, oh,
Karma,
who's
the
surprised
concept.
Michael Cohen's a bad dude? Like, oh,
You know what is the
shocking, you
problem?
guys.
He's about to be a victim.
I'm not, he has
You know what
never
someone
making
said
up
to me?
Trump.
Has surrounded
wait.
himself with all these people.
That's what I
Isn't
feel.
that what the surprise
That's
is?
what someone
all
said to
these
me
people
yesterday.
are going to jail. I mean, there have been
Right.
so many indictments from Michael Flynn to Manafort to Cohen. I mean, the circle is everything, everybody that has surrounded him.
Yes, but honey, I mean...
And
Let's not forget
isn't he next?
that this was pointed out when he was elected. When we
Yes.
talked about who you surround yourself with, how you do your business. It's not necessarily the person, it's the people you're surrounded with. And, you know, the swamp is now, I don't know what it is now.
They're in jail.
I don't know if you can drain the swamp.
I don't know if you saw this. I don't know if you saw this clip. Excuse me 1 minute. I don't know if you saw this clip of Orrin Hatch, the esteemed so-called senator from Utah.
He is-
They said to him,
He
well,
is the senator.
Yeah, he is, the esteemed, I said.
So-called.
Yeah.
No, I said the esteemed so-called.
Yeah.
Right.
It's okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Here's a guy, Orrin Hatch. I used to like him because he was very friendly with Teddy Kennedy.
Right.
They had bipolar.
Right.
Bipolar. Let me talk. I get so commit. Sorry. Because what he said to the reporter said, well, you know, the president, Michael Cohen, the president, they might have committed crimes, you know. I don't care, he said. The president's doing a good job. Where have we come when a senator from Utah is saying, I don't care if he committed a crime?
That's not what he said under Clinton.
Exactamente.
Yeah.
But he's almost gone. I mean, Mitt Romney's about to take his seat. I think he's getting sworn in
But
in
that
like 10
surprises
days.
me all the more. That surprises me all the
That's
more.
right. He
Don't
doesn't
you
care about
No
democracy
disrespect to Orrin Hatch.
What about character?
The most interesting thing about him is his Twitter account right now. So he's
Who, Orrin Hatch?
Yeah, he's got a great Twitter account. I'm gonna
Really?
Yeah,
And he writes music about it.
it's hilarious. It is.
And he was
Later, holiday hostility. Why Americans are so angry during the most wonderful time of the year. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. Of sex stars Felicity Jones and Armie Hammer. And Whoopi's wowing her family with some historic holiday magic when New York transforms into a winter wonderland. And we're picking the winner of The View's $5,000 holiday cash sweepstakes.
Welcome back. Before we get into this, there's something that Joy wants to say.
Oh, okay, I'll say it
Did you
now.
tell me?
Yes, yeah. Last night I went to see this show called Gloria, A Life. It's all about Gloria Steinem. And I really recommend that people go, especially younger women who really do not know how the women's movement evolved. Christine Lottie plays Gloria.
She's good.
You see the women's movement through Gloria Steinem's life.
Wow.
From 1970 to the present. And it resonates. And then they have a talk circle afterwards where people get up and tell their thing about how it impacted them.
When does it-
It's very
how long is it running?
I think, well, Christine is there until the middle of January, then someone else will take
Right.
it over.
Which
So it's
theater?
running. It's at the Darrell Roth Theater on East 15th Street.
Excellent.
Yes, very educational
I don't think
and
young women
entertaining.
fully understand or appreciate the efforts that were
Oh,
made
well,
and
wait
that
till they see
movement.
this. We went through hell.
That's good.
Someone said, yes, we did.
Yeah, we did. It's no joke.
Yeah.
That was no joke. Yes, baby.
Our producers gave us Orrin Hatch tweets. He's always making fun of his age. This one says, when someone asks you to share your bacon. He's
funny.
obviously not doing it. I'm sure he has a staffer doing it. Or maybe
Right.
he is. I don't know. But his Twitter is very funny. But he's about to be out of office. But they were showing me these tweets to show.
No, he's
Sorry.
going out of office.
He's making
He has-
fun of his age all
But
the
he has
time.
nothing to lose by speaking against truth to power about Trump. Why does he say, even if he
Twitter.
commits a crime, it's
I think
okay?
there's more that's gone on
should follow
behind the
his
scenes.
Twitter.
I think favors have been done, and it's
I have no
complicated.
Maybe
idea.
he needs to go
But he
to jail
also won a
too.
Grammy, interestingly.
Yeah.
He won a Grammy. He writes music, too.
Yeah, well, so did I. Yeah.
And we all write music.
You will, believe me, you
worries,
will.
look,
You'll
no
nominate, you will read some book, you'll do something, and you'll get
Or
revenue. You might, no, you're not going to get
You're not singing, Sonny.
But you know,
I'm not singing.
I'm a great singer.
you know what? Health experts say that the political climate has plenty of Americans going into the holiday season mad as hell. But they also say that there are lots of upsides to being angry. It helps you get your feelings across clearly because you're not worried about being polite.
Yeah.
It can motivate you to change something, and it's good for you to let it all out at once. I don't know about that.
Well, I think there's a difference between just rage and righteous anger. You know, this country was founded on righteous anger. You know, Jefferson, all those guys, they were righteously angry. And I would say one more thing about it. Comedy is basically the train behind comedy is anger if you're funny. Bill Maher, Susie Essman, Larry David, me, you, we're all fueled by a certain amount of rage. Like, you know, but mine was about the powers that be. And that was where my rage came from.
I think when people are angry, they're not listening. So they're recommending that you can go in and get a job because you're angry enough to say, I stand up. But I think that's really not, because that's the wrong, well, that's what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Because you're now putting your anger out on somebody whose fault it isn't.
Yeah,
And I think that you have to be careful.
I agree.
You can be annoyed. You know, there's stuff that annoys you. You know, as Americans, stuff, whatever side you're on, annoys you, you know. But we work together. We say, well, like I always bring this up because Teddy was a friend of ours, and Teddy and your daddy. You know, I said, well, okay, let's figure this out so we can get past this and get to this now.
I agree. It seems to me that anger is almost a wasted emotion. I feel like facts trump emotion every single time. And if you're in a position where you're negotiating, I don't think you can think clearly enough when you're angry. And
You're
it just
talking
doesn't
about
make
something
sense
else. You're
to
talking
me.
about out of control anger. They're talking, I'm going to be hard. They're talking about focusing, your anger, focusing.
I agree with Joy on this one.
Right.
And we've actually talked before that we actually think we're relaxed off camera because you and I leave it all out on the table. I mean, I enjoy coming into work and being able to have healthy debates. And yeah, sometimes
healthy debate
there's
is
healthy
different.
anger
But also
about what's
depends
going
on who
in
you
the country.
are.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
but you're
what
not
you're
trying to
like, I
get. You're
can't
not
believe
trying to
it's
get
going-
work. I'm saying because what they're saying is, go in and ask
helps
for
you
what you want. It
negotiate.
helps you
Or at
negotiate.
work.
I think that it can be. Because most people aren't us.
Yeah, that's fair.
And so I think most people going in.
You can't do what we do if it's
I don't think we need
I
this
bet, like,
advice either. I think this table doesn't need to hear this.
I think you got to keep it classy.
All right.
All right.
Well, we
I don't know
agree
if
on
Joy and
that.
I always keep it classy, but I certainly always.
Well, you know
Don't ask,
what?
go to the job and say, you don't give me that job,
Yeah.
punch you. No, you're not going to
Yeah.
get the job. No.
We're out. So welcome back. The White House just canceled their Christmas party for the press. Oh my God. I'm like so upset about this. Do you think it's because of all the bad headlines?
You think?
Yeah, but Megan was just telling me some people are invited.
According to, I think it's Hallie Kurtz, but I saw it right before the show. I don't have it right here. That there are some media people, select media people, that have been invited to other holiday events vis-a-vis Fox News hosts.
I actually, I'm invited to the party tomorrow night.
You are?
But
Can you
with
bring
a
us
caveat,
all?
I wasn't personally invited. If I were still at Fox, I probably would have gotten a personal invite.
Nobody else was
but
invited.
I got invited through, I got invited through a friend that works in the administration, so you can give it. But I do know that journalists are going. But the question of would you go if you were invited?
You know, I'll
I
tell you
always say
something.
the White House is not Trump's house. The White House is the country's house.
Yeah, someone
And we
needs
should
to
always
remind
treat it
him
that
of
way.
I went to Obama. But you know, the party that Donald Trump needs to worry about is the Democratic Party in January. That's what the party has to worry about. Would you go if you were invited, Whoopi?
No, I don't like going to the White House. I know that sounds crazy, but I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable.
I went to
and it doesn't
when
matter
Obama
who's
was
in there.
there.
Right.
It doesn't matter who's in
White
there.
House makes you uncomfortable?
Yeah.
Is it because it's a Target?
Yes.
Yeah, I know you.
Yes.
I gotcha.
And I'm, look, I can't help it. Okay.
Meaning like
I've watched
terrorism.
too many movies.
Yeah.
This is why you can't watch ID channel. You should not watch movies.
They have great...
because you start, because that's how my mind
They
works.
have such great security. I mean, I worked at DOJ for so many years.
I know there's great security.
Great
But
security.
he has a healthy sense of paranoia like I do.
Yeah.
But Whoopi, if you went, you'd have to say, how you do, individual one?
I think it would be interesting to go. I would. I would definitely go. And if you get a picture op, I mean, let's say he gets impeached. It's almost like you have a picture with Nixon. It's kind of. It's like a collector's item.
It's a collectible, yeah. It's
Here's
true.
the thing, though.
I mean, just thinking forward.
She's right.
The White House, the White House is gorgeous over the holidays, regardless of who's president. For the journalists, who we all know are the hardest workers in this industry, to have one day a year you can be invited to the White House and bring your children.
And you leave with a
The problem
collector's
with DC
item.
parties, as you know, is nothing's off the record. Everybody's staring at each other and probably tweeting about what you're doing, what you're drinking, what you're saying. It is not a fun party to go to.
Everyone is tense.
Yes, and it's not like a
everybody's
party.
Oh, shoot.
What am I going to do?
What's going to happen?
What photo?
Ooh, did I just poop? That's what's going on. That's what people are thinking.
It could be so interesting, though, to people watch.
No, I can't. I'm sorry. I've too many movies. Too many movies with
Didn't you
with
go when
guys.
Obama was there?
I went once with Obama, and I went once with Clinton, and I was not. I didn't like it. I just thought there's too many because I feel like there's too many people in a thing.
White House anything because everybody I love loses. Me
too, actually.
Except
you get invited. I'm not invited. I'm not welcome
folks
there.
might have lost, but they improved the country.
Yeah, thanks, Marie. Merry Christmas.
You didn't go when George W. was president? No, why not?
Now,
The parties are good.
I don't know if you want a little flashback. My dad and President Bush didn't always get along either.
Yeah.
We're scorched shirts all the way around. Right, Doug?
So I'm supposed to start this now. New York City is the place to be during Christmas. So I took my family on a tour of the holiday hotspots that my mother took me to, along with my big brother when we were kids. Check it out when we come back. Every Christmas, my mom showed my brother and I, Clyde, that there's no place in the world like New York during the holidays. So I'm trying to carry on the family tradition by taking my granddaughters, Amara and Jersey, and my great-granddaughter, Charlie Rose, to all of my mother's favorite holiday hotspots that we always started the incredible holidays with. So it starts with the amazing Rockettes at Radio City, music halls, Christmas spectacular. Take a look. I wish I had a rocket. I wish I had a rocket. I wish I had a rocket. Look! Rockets! 2 rockets! Hi! Welcome to Radio City. Thank you. I used to come in here as a little girl, and it was magical. Is it magical for you all?
Every day, honestly. This is like one of my most favorite times to be here in the morning, just before everyone gets here, before the crowds come in, because this is like everyone's holiday tradition. You know, people come from all over to come and see the show every year.
Well, I have to tell you, it was my family tradition when my mom and bro were with us, which they're not now, but my 2 granddaughters are here. This is Jersey, and that's Amara. And the one running around So she may be up on the stage. Should we go and see what's backstage?
Yes, let's see where the magic happens.
This is our costume room, and there's up to 18 girls changing in here at one time. So there's a lot of choreography backstage as well as on stage.
We wear these for our Parade of the Wooden Soldier number. We have soldier cheeks. Can I go ahead and put some on you? Is that okay?
I will.
Is that okay?
Maybe what I should say that put them on me.
Here we go. One on each cheek. There you go. I don't even know that name.
5, 6, 7.
Here we go. Step right, left, left, right.
Well, I'm excited. Are you guys ready to go watch?
Yeah,
It's showtime.
We'd always leave the Christmas spectacular feeling pretty good and thinking about the holiday spirit of giving and all that good stuff. But come on, we were just kids, and my mother knew exactly where to take us next. The most legendary toy store in history, FAO Schwartz. When I was a kid, FAO Schwartz was on Fifth Avenue, but it was recently reimagined in a new location at Rockefeller Center, and I'm happy to say this place has not lost any of that old holiday magic.
Welcome back to London. Welcome to FAO
Schwartz!
How are you?
When I was little, this store, every family, whether they had money or not, could come in here, and they didn't follow them around. And so Clyde and I were able to look at everything and touch everything. It was really great.
Let's see what's over here.
Okay.
I want that too.
I know you do.
Wait, I want to hear some piano.
Now that we had visions of every single toy imaginable dancing in our heads, my mother knew she couldn't remember all of that, but she didn't have to, really, because Santa Claus himself had set up shop in the iconic store with those signature holiday windows, Macy's. Wow. Good job. This one looks good. So are you ready to go up and see Santa? Santa? Let's go!
Christmas Eve, which is the night before Christmas. Can you leave Santa a cookie? Give Santa a big hug. I'm so glad you came to see Santa.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate. Yeah, well, that's Santa. Well, you know, Santa's always busy, but it makes time to get over to Macy's, and it was fun. It was nice to be
And
there.
Charlie's not afraid at all of Santa.
No, Charlie knows what. Charlie's the right height to take care of business. We'll be right back.
How did dancing to Beyonce help Felicity Jones and Armie Hammer make a movie about Ruth Bader Ginsburg? They're live on The View next. Tomorrow, The View's Hot Topics are on fire, and Leslie Mann is hitting the table. Plus, you're in for a treat, because all the co-hosts are giving us the lowdown on their favorite things. And it wouldn't be Happy Holidays at The View without Darlene Love. Plus, special guest Brian Adams. Tomorrow on The View.
In the era of Me Too and Time's Up, On the Basis of Sex tells the true story of how Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg's historic fight for gender equality started at home. Take a look.
Just tell me what you want.
Nothing. I want nothing. I want you to go to work and wow your bosses and clients and be the youngest partner in the history of the firm.
That's not fair.
Then
That's
I want you
not
to
fair,
walk
and
me
you know
home,
it.
Marty, so I can sit in my corner and write a lesson plan to inspire the next generation of students to go forth and fight for equality.
I don't understand why you're acting like that's such a bad thing. You're out there training the next generation of lawyers to change the world.
Because that's what I wanted to do.
Please welcome Felicity Jones and Armie Hammer.
That's it, yeah.
Some kids, hello.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
Yeah. So I hear, Felicity, that Ruth Bader Ginsburg attended the film in D.C. And did she like it?
She did, yeah. Yeah, we got the thumbs up. She loved it. So it was a great moment sharing it with her. Yeah, it was fantastic to see her when she came out onto stage. She did a Q&A before and she had leopard skin boots on.
Oh, she's so sharp.
She's a rock star.
You really nailed her. You nailed the accent, and I've met the Justice, and you were perfection as her. So I love the movie. The legal geek in me definitely did. And you say that it's a superhero movie.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, look, she has this sort of aura and status of
She,
like a
has a cape.
superhero. Yeah,
Yeah.
but what I loved about the movie more than anything is that you see the human behind it, which makes it more accessible. This isn't a woman who flies or shoots laser out of her eyes. This is a woman who changed the world by using just her brain, and I loved that. I love
She
that
does
aspect.
shoot lasers out of her eyes.
It's amazing.
We know that.
It's amazing. And at 85, she is the oldest Justice, I believe. Am I right about that? I think so.
Maybe.
And she literally recently broke 3 ribs. She fell, but she works out every single day with a trainer. What were your thoughts when you heard about that? The political stakes are pretty high right now without the notorious RBG.
But I mean, this just shows you how tough she is, and why it's no surprise she is a Supreme Court justice, because she fell and broke 3 ribs and went home. If I stubbed my toe on this table getting out of here, I'm like, I gotta go to the hospital. I mean, she's tough.
Yeah, she was back in the office the next day.
She's a tough one.
With 3 broken ribs, I understand you guys actually went to dinner with her before filming. What was that like?
Yeah, it was tremendous. It was just about getting to know her on a more personal level and you know, finding out about the human behind the incredible icon. But it was wonderful when we were all sort of nervously waiting outside to go into her office to meet her, and we went in, and then I just noticed that she couldn't take her eyes off Armie Hammer.
He is human. I can't even imagine having to prepare for that role, to play RGB, because she's an inspiration to so many people. How did you study for that role? How did you prepare for it?
Oh, well, I mean, as you say, it's definitely nerve-wracking playing someone who is so deeply beloved and so many people look up to. But I mean, my way into it was to just, you know, go through every single detail, change myself as much as possible to become the notorious RBG.
Even how she walks.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And she has this, she just has an incredible presence, and she takes time with everything, and you understand just the dedication that she has put into her work and the hard work that it has taken to get where she is.
I was in her chambers one time, and somebody got in there, and she just was telling us all the cases that are coming up, and she spent time really rolling it out. It was so interesting. She's a hard worker. The other thing about the movie is you see that her relationship with her husband was very strong, that he was very supportive, backed her up, and I think did that resonate with you yourselves in your lives?
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It's really funny because now that my wife has seen the movie, anytime I do something, if I get out of the car and I walk away, she'll go, well, Marty wouldn't do that. You're right.
Oh, boy.
You screwed yourself.
Yeah, but just like living in that sort of character and walking in those shoes for a couple of months. I know for a fact that it made me a better partner and a better husband and a better father and all that stuff. And it's great to get to play. And it's also great to play a character like that feels kind of vastly underrepresented in film.
Yeah, because that character does not get played very often because he's not the sexy one. Do you know what I mean? It's not sexy to be the equal of your partner.
And he's a tax lawyer, but they work together on one of her first important cases, and a lot of people don't know that.
He has a strong ego, I'm assuming, the guy. He had a strong ego.
He was like super self-assured. He was incredibly confident and strong. So people look at him and they go, well, you kind of played a weaker man. I'm like, well, that probably says more about you to say that. But also, think about this. This is a guy who in the 50s and 60s and 70s existed in an equal partnership with his wife. He did the cooking, he did the cleaning, he did whatever he could to facilitate.
And he was a great cook.
For sure, he was an amazing cook.
Imagine
in the 50s, you're at home cooking for your family in like an apron, and your friends come over and they go, Marty, what are you doing? You're like, I'm cooking. Would you like something? He was really self-assured.
You were chopping in the movie like a master chef. Are you a good cook too?
I'd like to think so. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That was off topic, but I just remembered it. What was also interesting in the movie was, and Whoopi talk about it all the time. She talks about the fact that women at that time had to get credit cards in their husband's name.
Yes, baby. Yes.
And I was just thinking. So Ruth Bader Ginsburg had to get a credit card in her husband's name.
The world was against her every step of the way. Yeah, and it's how she just fought. She just pushed through it, and obviously with her husband and her family, and so much of their story is about how they did it together. And as you say, it's like men and women can achieve great things when they work in harmony with each other.
Joy, it comes right at a time when you saw that play last night.
Gloria Steinem's life, and those days were rough on women. But we paid cash.
Credit cards.
If you had cash.
They didn't cost what they cost now. So.
Felicity, I hear that you had an unusual way of loosening up before shooting your scenes. What was that?
I mean, I always look to the phenomenal Beyonce. Preparing for any scene. She is just the perfect. It's particularly her music videos. And Kaylee and I, who plays my daughter beautifully in the film, it's when we were playing the scenes in the 70s, and we wanted to show the shift from the 50s, which was so much more controlled, and then when you get into the 70s, it's all about being a little bit looser, and so we would watch Single Ladies before we'd go and do a scene.
The Single Ladies video.
And we'd try and imitate the dance very badly.
Did you get it down?
Would you like to try?
And I hear you have a similar process, an acting process before your scene.
I also watch Beyonce before.
Well, it's a great film, and I suspect many people will get enlightened about what you can do when you work together. That's an amazing thing. So our thanks to Felicity and Army. On the Basis of Sex will be in select theaters Christmas Day and opens nationwide January 11th. And we, of course, will be right back.
Sweepstakes. Whoopi is in the win booth, ready to choose a winner. But first, Sarah Skirball, shopping and trends expert from our sponsor, Retail Me Not, is here to tell us how we can save on everything for the holidays. Sarah, tell us how we can save.
Can you believe that Christmas is just a few short weeks away?
No.
I can't either. And shopping can be stressful, but I want to remind everyone that you don't have to stress about money because you can get all the best deals with RetailMeNot.com. Go to the website, use the free app. You can save a ton of money on everything on your gift list, including apparel, accessories, toys, electronics, beauty. You can even save money on restaurants and even travel. So again, before you start your shopping, even if you're finishing up your shopping, use RetailMeNot.com. Save yourself some money, save yourself some stress.
I love it. Okay, it's time to give away some money. So first we want to announce our at-home winner. Congratulations to Diana Correa from Antioch, California. You just won $5,000. And now it's time for our studio audience winner. Is everybody ready? The win booth is full of our studio audience seat numbers, and Whoopi has 10 seconds to pick a winner. Okay, let's start. There's a look right there.
All right. Number 140. You just won $5,000. Yes, it's kind of wonderful. And everybody else, listen. You won because you got to hang with us for today. We want you to have a great day. We thank you for watching. We thank you for coming. We want you to take a little time to enjoy the view.
For over 30 years, Credit Jewelry has been the name Oklahomans trust for affordable quality jewelry. We offer all types of beautiful jewelry at every price range, and we work hard to help you establish or reestablish good credit. At Credit Jewelry, there's no finance charge, no interest, and we even have a no down payment option available. Plus, Credit Jewelry will pay you top dollar for your gold and silver. So call today and get pre-approved. Credit Jewelry, giving you the credit you deserve.
Are you ready to go? Everything will be okay.